3 days before my mom's 60th, I showed up with a rare first edition, heart racing, palms sweaty. Instead of hugs, I walked into a tribunal. Dad Peter crossed his arms. Brother Kyle smirked. Mom Diane stared at her coffee like it might save her. Dad cleared his throat. About Saturday, but better if you don't come. Kyle went for the jugular. This is a high society event. You? A renter with an old car and a computer job? Don't embarrass us. My chest caved. I laughed, quiet, broken. So I'm the stain you can't bleach? No one denied it. Be honest, if your family erased you to protect their image, what would you do? Comment your gut reaction, and if this hit a nerve, subscribe. Someone needs to hear this today. 3 days before my mom's 60th birthday, I walked into my parents' kitchen with a rare first edition tucked under my arm and walked straight into an ambush. Dad, Peter, had his arms folded like a bouncer. My brother Kyle leaned against the counter with that lawyerly smirk he saves for people he thinks are beneath him. Mom, Diane, stared into her coffee like it might offer her a better daughter. About Saturday, Dad said, voice tight. It's better if you don't come. Kyle went straight for the jugular. This is a high society event. A renter with an old car and a computer job doesn't fit the room. Don't embarrass us. I laughed, quiet, brittle. So I'm the stain you can't bleach? No one corrected me. That's when something in me went very still, not numb, so still like a surgeon holding up steady before the first cut. Let me rewind, because here's the part they never asked about. 8 years earlier, while they were busy measuring success by zip code and job title, I co-founded a software company, just me and Alex, a developer I met at a chaotic little tech conference where the coffee tasted like burnt tires and the Wi-Fi kept dying. We built a data analytics platform for mid-market companies, too big for spreadsheets, too small for expensive enterprise tools. We didn't have a PR budget, we had ramen, overdrafts, and an ocean of stubbornness. I coded until my wrists screamed, pitched until my throat burned, and learned to read P&L statements like self-defense. I kept it quiet because mixing family and money is like pouring gasoline on a candle. Looks romantic, ends messy. Year 2, 50 paying clients. Year 3, our first enterprise contracts. We didn't chase viral growth, we chased renewals because renewals are respect in invoice form. I hired carefully, people with sharp minds and soft egos, the kind who can hear feedback without seeing enemies. Meanwhile, my family kept doing roll call at Thanksgiving. Kyle's firm just landed a Fortune 50, and then landing on me like I was a group project no one wanted. Still figuring things out? My aunt would chirp. I'd smile and pass the pie. Inside, it was a slow bleed. If you've ever worked in silence while people call your effort a phase, hit like so I know I'm not the only one. By year 5, we had 3 offices and a customer list I couldn't fit on a single slide. That's when the big boys started sniffing around. Diligence calls, NDAs, exploratory conversations, and translation, we see your numbers, we want your moat. I learned deal language the way kids learn curse words, fast and with guilty excitement. Tech venture, global TVG came hardest. Margaret Reeves, their CEO, was the rare kind of shark who didn't waste blood. Your retention is ridiculous, she said, skimming our cohorts. You've solved a very boring problem in an extremely beautiful way. Boring is a compliment in software. Boring pays rent. We negotiated for months. I said no more than I said yes, even when the room got colder. We built contingency plans, pressure tested the stack, ran tabletop disasters. What if a major client churns? What if a key vendor fails? What if I can't get out of bed the week the deal closes? Fun fact, founders plan for depression the same way they plan for downtime. Somewhere around the 15th red line on the reps and warranties, I started sleeping on the office couch again. I remembered the first nights, that dead, humming quiet, where the only light is your laptop and your fear. I remembered every eye roll from a relative, every still at that text, every time I swallowed the urge to say, I'm building something and I'm good at it. The number landed, $340 million. My equity after taxes, about $180 million. I stared at the spreadsheet like it had insulted my mother. That much money doesn't feel like winning. It feels like holding a live wire and hoping you don't forget who you are. We scheduled signing for Friday at 3 p.m. TVG would push the press release at 6 p.m. My mother's party? Saturday, 5:30 p.m. The timing was a cosmic prank. Back to the kitchen ambush. When Dad said, "Better if you don't come," something old cracked. Not anger, clarity. I put the first edition on the counter. "Happy birthday," I said. No drama, no defense. I walked out with my pulse thudding in my ears like a warning siren. In the elevator down, I asked myself, and I'm asking you now, if your family told you to stay home because you weren't shiny enough for their friends, what would you do? Drop a comment with your first reaction. The unfiltered one, I want to hear it, because in that moment that I made a choice. Protect my peace, finish my deal, and let the truth find them without me saying a single word. Friday came. We signed in a glassy conference room where even the pens looked expensive. Margaret squeezed my shoulder. "You should be proud," she said. "This will change how we serve the mid-market." Pride is a quiet thing. It didn't roar. It settled into my bones. At 6 p.m. and the press release would go live. At 6:01, every person who ever called my work a phase would learn how long a phase can last. If you're still with me, hit subscribe. The next part, it gets loud. I went home to my rental, which, plot twist, is a penthouse I bought in cash 3 years ago and never told them about because I prefer sleeping to hearing Kyle say over-leveraged with his mouth full of hors d'oeuvres. I put on sweats, ordered takeout, and decided not to crash the party. No grand entrance, no speech, no revenge dress. The point wasn't to humiliate them. The point was to stop letting them humiliate me. At 6:03 p.m., my phone lit up like a wildfire. Local tech entrepreneur sells company for 340 SMS. My headshot, professional, calm, annoyingly well lit, was on the evening news. A reporter stood outside our downtown office, pronouncing our product correctly, which felt like a miracle. My Slack exploded. Clients wrote paragraphs that made me cry. Engineers sent me strings of keyboard smash. Old classmates I haven't heard from since prom suddenly loved women in tech. You know the drill. Then, an unknown number. "This is Jennifer Walsh from Channel 7. We'd love you for our 10 p.m. business spotlight." Before I could say yes or no, another call barreled in. Mom's number. I picked up. The background was chaos. Clinking glasses, TVs blaring. The high-pitched panic of people who've been caught with their storylines down. "Is this true?" she asked, breathless. "They're saying you sold a company for hundreds of millions." "They're saying a lot," I said. "What do you want to know?" She didn't answer because Dad grabbed the phone. "You need to come now." His voice had that emergency bark he uses for flat tires and reputational fires. "Explain to people. They're asking why we never mentioned." "Explain what?" I asked. "That I'm not the stain you can't bleach?" He went quiet. Kyle jumped in. "Do you know how this looks? Senior partners are here, mom's friends, donors. Everyone's asking why you're not at your own mother's party." I said evenly, "Because you uninvited me, remember?" Kyle actually scoffed. That was before we knew. Translation, money baptized me into acceptability. If that line makes your blood heat, share this video so someone else hears it too. I won't lie, a part of me wanted to put on a dress, walk in, and watch the room choke on its assumptions. But another part, the healed part, knew that's just a prettier version of begging. "I'm not coming," I said. "You made your decision." Mom was crying now. "Please," she said, fragile. "Let me introduce you properly." Properly, like I'm a new appliance. "I told you for years I was building a company," I said. "You chose not to be curious." There was a long exhale, like the party held its breath with them. In the background, I heard Mrs. Whitmore, voiced like a martini, say, "Diane, my daughter made partner, and even I'd brag about $340 million. Why didn't you?" The silence was vicious. "Look," Dad said, grasping, "this isn't fair. You kept this from us." I laughed, tired. "I didn't keep anything. You covered your ears." Kyle tried the lawyer tone. "You owe us." "I owe you nothing," I said gently. "I love you. I'm not your PR stunt." That's when something petty and perfect happened. The news segment switched to a live shot of our office, and Margaret's statement ran across the lower third. one of the most talented founders I've worked with. I didn't need to go to the party. The truth went for me. I hung up and called Jennifer back. "I'll do the 10 p.m., I said, "but I'm not discussing my family," she agreed. We taped at 9. The studio lights were the surgical, bright, exposing, impossible to hide under. I told the story I wanted to tell: scrappy beginnings, hard lessons, hiring with heart, building a product so useful it becomes boring in the best way. I said something I meant with my whole body. You can be underestimated without becoming small. If that lands with you, drop a comment. When were you underestimated, and what did you do? Meanwhile, the party melted down. Guests filmed my headshot on the TV like I was in eclipse. Social media posted, "Congrats to Diane's daughter," with smiley faces that felt like salt. Texts poured in from cousins who once called my job cute. Aunt Linda, who's always been kind, texted, "Proud of you, call me if you need a human." I needed water and 8 hours of sleep. When the segment aired at 10, my phone became a drum line. I muted everything and sat alone in my living room, looking out over the city that didn't know me and somehow still understood me better than my family did. Here's the hook I wish I'd learned sooner. Love without respect is just access. They wanted access. I wanted respect. Those are not the same currency. By Sunday, Kyle left a voicemail. "We look like idiots. You should have warned us." The audacity, Olympic level. Mom enlisted Aunt Linda to call. I picked up. Linda was gentle. "Your mom is a wreck." "She excluded me," I said, "for optics." "I know," she whispered. "What do you want?" The question gutted me because I hadn't let myself want anything from them in a long time. "I want an apology," I said, "not because I'm shiny now, because they were cruel then." If you're still here, hit subscribe. The last part is about boundaries, repair, and refusing to trade your dignity for anyone's comfort. 2 weeks passed. In founder time, that's an acquisition, a brand refresh, and 3 panic attacks. In family time, it was a reckoning. My mother called from Linda's phone like a teenager caught breaking curfew, and answered because I wanted a conclusion that wasn't written in heat. Her voice was raw, stripped of the polish she wears at charity luncheons. "I've been thinking," she said. "I was wrong." The words sat between us, unfamiliar furniture. "I kept waiting to brag about you the way other moms brag about their kids. I didn't ask who you were, just what you could do for my image." She exhaled. "That's not love, that's marketing." I didn't speak. Let silence do the job my lectures never could. She kept going, like a dam failing in slow motion. "I taught Kyle to value the wrong things. He's apologized to me. He owes you more." She said Dad was struggling. His pride had always been a barbed wire around his softer parts, but he was trying. Then she said the sentence that unclenched something in me. "I'm proud of you because of how you built it, not how much it sold for." I believe 70% of it. That's a B- in honesty. It was enough for a start. Here's something I want you to hear. If your family hurt you and then tried to rewrite the story once you made it, you are allowed to accept the apology and still enforce the boundary. You're allowed to love them and still say, "Not like that." I told Mom exactly what the boundary looked like. "We don't do optics," I said. "We do respect. If you ask about my life, ask to understand, not to perform. No more comparing me to Mrs. Whitmore's daughter. No more Kyle's sales pitch in human form." She cried. Quiet, tired, tears. "Okay." Kyle texted a curt apology the next day. "Sorry for how I spoke to you. Proud of your success." It read like a hostage note written by an ego. I said, "Thank you. I expect better going forward." He sent a thumbs up, which is emoji for, "We'll try this again when I've learned human feelings." Dad called a week later, voice rough. "I was wrong," he said. "Are you happy?" I stared at the skyline. "Yes," I said, surprising myself with how true it felt. "I am." On my side of the fence, life didn't slow down. It got clearer. I moved from operator to mentor, carving time every week for founders who looked like me when I started. Tired, brilliant, one invoice away from quitting. I tell them the things no one told me: negotiate like your future self is in the room and she's expensive. Build processes before you think you need them. Hire for humility and velocity. Keep receipts, literal, emotional, spiritual. I talk about grief too because success comes with it. Grief for the years I let small. Comments make me small. Grief for the version of me who wanted praise from people, allergic to curiosity. Grief for the family moments that should have been soft and were sharp instead. Did I forgive? Yes. Forgiveness for me is returning the weight they handed me by mistake. I'm not carrying your shame for you anymore. You dropped me from the guest list. I'm dropping your narrative from mine. That's not cruelty. That's alignment. When Mom invited me to brunch months later, I went. She didn't name drop once. We talked about my team, the interns I'm sponsoring, the founder who cried on Zoom because her seed round closed and she finally slept. Mom listened, really listened. I left hopeful and hydrated, which is my metric for maternal progress. But I won't sanitize what happened. Let me say it plainly for anyone who needs permission to stop letting people rewrite your pain. Don't embarrass us is violence in a pretty dress. Better if you don't come, it said, is abandonment with a bow. That was before we knew is love on layaway, conditional and cheap. If this makes you angry, good. Anger's a compass. Point it toward building a life where you don't need their applause to hear your own heartbeat. People ask if I regret not walking into that party after the news broke. No, walking in would have been theater. Staying home was sovereignty. And if you're in a season where your silence is being misread as weakness, hear me, silence can be strategy. Let the truth do the talking. It carries farther than your voice ever will in a room determined not to hear you. So here's my ask, because stories like this matter more when they echo. Like this, if any line felt like your life. Comment with the moment you decided to stop auditioning for your own family. Share this with someone who's one rejection away from giving up on themselves. And subscribe if you want more than highlight reels, if you want the messy, healing middle where boundaries are built and kept. Final thought, and then I'll let you go. Love is not a costume you wear at parties. It is a daily practice of curiosity and respect, in private first. I didn't need my family to become perfect. I needed them to become honest. I needed me to become free. Here's where I landed. I didn't skip that party to punish anyone. I skipped it to protect the version of me I fought 8 years to build. I chose peace over performance. And yeah, it hurt, more than I'll ever admit at brunch. But the truth is simple. Love without respect is just access. I won't hand out access to people who may only value me after a headline. So tell me, am I in the wrong? Would showing up have fixed it, or just fed the same machine that erased me in the first place? If this were you, what would you have done? Walk in smiling or hold your boundary and breathe? Here's my takeaway. Curiosity is love in action. Ask the people you claim to love about their life before you judge it. For me, the lesson is to stop auditioning, start aligning. Apology accepted, standards unchanged. I can forgive and still keep the door on a chain. If any part of this hit a nerve, tap like so the story reaches someone who needs it. Drop a comment with your aunt's take. I read them. Share this with the friend who's one don't embarrass us away from doubting themselves. And if you want more real, messy healing stories, go ahead and subscribe. We're building quiet strength here.